international level is 5 at the moment, and now I'm using 7. So back to you, Vic. Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey, 2 Whiskey Zero, Romeo Quebec Charlie.
Yep, 2 Whiskey Zero, Radio Queen Charlie, Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey. I didn't see much difference, Robert, in those settings at all. But it does sound good. It sounds very nice indeed. Both of them sound good at this location. There's something about audio, you know. It seems to change over distance. You know, I've got my mic setting here at 3 o'clock. Yep, the mic gain is at 3 o'clock. I'm looking at it now. My knob on the left-hand corner is at 3 o'clock, and I've got the microphone, the hand microphone, shoved right in my face. I'm leaning on my elbow, and it's more or less touching my lips, the microphone. I'm very close to it. No one's ever complained about my audio, but if I was in the UK, I know for a fact I've had similar settings through Hack Green, and you know, 80 and 40 meters, it was just, the mic gain was too much. I probably have to have it at 10 to 9, quarter to 9. But somehow this distance, it changes, you know. I think so anyway. You know. But lovely to hear you. You'll have to tell me what radio you've got, please, and the antenna. Maybe the WX if it's been quite nice. I'm sure it has. It's going to get even better, they tell me. I'm running here an ICOM 7800 and 1 kilowatt from an ACOM amp. My antenna's 3 elements at the moment at 41 feet on a tenor mast, Robert. 2 Whiskey Zero, Radio Queen Charlie, Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey.
Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey, 2 Whiskey Zero, Romeo Quebec Charlie. Yes, all copies there, Vic, and yes, thank you for letting me know about the audio then when I was playing around with the compression setting. Generally, I keep it at level 5, from 1 to 10 on the radio that I'm using, but I thought I'd just experiment by knocking it up to 7 to see what difference the value would make. But having heard what you said, I've now put it back to 5, and I'll just leave it there. So that's fine. Yes, I'm using an ICOM 7300, and the antenna is a high-end 5-band, and my power is 50 watts, 50 watts. The high-end head has been a good friend. I've been using it now for over a year. It used to belong to a friend of mine from the Amateur Radio Club here in Cardiff, but he replaced it with another one, and it became surplus to requirement. So he very kindly let me have it, and also installed it for me, which was very good of him.
Tuesday the 4th of August.
I found it to be excellent, except on 80 meters. Not too good on 80 meters. It has a loading coil for using that particular band. But I've removed that part of the antenna now, where the loading coil is, and I now rely upon an 80-meter monoband dipole for 80 meters. And that's giving me much better experience for me now on 80. But yes, all noted there on your ICOM 7800 and 1 kilowatt output there with the ACOM amp. Yeah, it's doing a wonderful job there. 1 kilowatt, that's the sort of power that we in the UK could only dream about. So one of the advantages of being in radio just can use that extra power, which is certainly standing you in good stead, because your audio is absolutely beautiful. I heard you on a number of occasions, and I'm so glad that we have a chance to have a chat at last. So to get you into the log there. So yes, WX here. We've been a very cloudy day today. Temperature hasn't gone much above about 21 Celsius, and at this moment it's just below 18. I'm looking at my weather station now, and it's telling me that it's 17.9. The first answer is for much warmer weather in the coming 2 days. So at least we have something there to look to. Back to you, Vic. Lima and Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey. 2 Romeo Quebec, Charlie.
2 Whiskey Zero, Radio Queen Charlie, Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey. Yep, fine, Robert. Did I miss giving you a report? I got you down 5 and 9 plus. But of course things change all the time now. You're about 5 and 6, maybe touching the 7. But you did, the first couple of overs, you did touch out well over the 9. Yep, I've worked people in Europe, the Netherlands. It seems quite a lot of people in the Netherlands have those high-end feds. I'm sure that's a commercial antenna, the commercial antenna name. And they seem like they put out a good signal. You know, you think if they didn't tell you that they was only using a high-end fed, you know, you think they was using some step IR 3 element, because they're a good signal. They are. On 20, I don't know what they're like on other bands. I only play 20 at the moment. I do have a 17-meter Moxon, which I used a lot last year, but it's not on anything at the moment. It's just tie wrapped up in the front in the garden, so it doesn't get damaged. One day we might have it on another tower if we get one. But yeah, very nice. Yes, don't touch anything on that radio. It's just perfect at the moment. Look, of course you can always experiment, so long as you remember where it was before. That's the key, isn't it? When I used to experiment with the Hack Green, you know, you can, on 40 or 80, you can hear yourself through Hack Green most of the time. And also you can record from Hack Green. You know, you just press that record, download it, and just save it in a file. Listen to it later, or listen to it whenever, you know, and make your own judgment. You can always just say test, test, test. This is position 5. This is position 6. This is position 7. I used to do that all the time. And then you can sit and relax with your computer, your laptop, and play it all back and decide yourself which is the best, you know. You take care and stay safe. Nice to hear you near Cardiff, Robert. And have a good evening. 2 Whiskey Zero, Radio Queen Charlie, Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey.
Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey. Yes, all sorted there, Liz. And yes, Hack Green, wonderful facility there. And I do listen in quite often. And I know that the two can make a recording, so that's worth knowing. You told me something there. And yes, I'll make a careful note of my settings here, so that I can always revert back to them should I need to. In fact, I'll really learn in there. So any experimentation that I do, I generally find myself going back to where I was before anyway. So fine. Okay, it's been a pleasure having this chance to do this, and I look forward very much to meeting you again on air. In the meantime, stay safe to engage. Radio Quebec, Charlie, wishing you 73.
Yep, good night, Robert. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Golf India 0, Zulu Alpha Kilo Victor.
Charlie Whiskey, Golf 1, Juliet Delta.
Yep, Golf India 0, Zulu Alpha Kilo. Good evening, old man. 5 and 9 plus, I think. It sounded like that anyway. Yeah, stand by, Graham. I'll give you a call in a bit. I heard you further up the band, working some one. I just worked this gentleman first. Yeah, I don't know whether we were before. I don't think so. My name is Vic, Victor India Charlie. I'm located southeast Bulgaria in the Yambu province. Golf India 0, Zulu Alpha Kilo, Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey.
Yeah, very good evening. Vic, LZ7, Charlie Whiskey, GI 0, Zulu Alpha Kilo returning. Very good evening, Vic. Did have you at 5 and 9 plus 20 at one stage, but a little bit of QSP. The handle Way on this side is Fred, Florida, Radio Echo Delta. And we're located approximately a mile north from the centre of Belfast City. Like, yeah, 5 and 9 plus 20 dB. A little bit of QSB, sounding very, very good indeed, mate, Owen.
Yeah, Roger, Fred. I wonder whether you've been working into G. There's lots of, well, my last two stations told me about the into G in the UK at the moment. I was surprised. I thought I was one of them, was a G station when I was calling CQ. Yeah, 5 and 9 plus, Fred. I'm running here an ICOM 7800. There's always QSB, isn't there? You can't get away from it. ICOM 7800 and 1 kilowatt from an ACOM amp. My antenna's to 3 elements at the moment. It's at 41 feet, Fred. GI0ZAK LZ7CW.
Yeah, LZ7CW GI0ZAK. Yeah, well, it's working very, very well, Vic. I have to say that for you. I know you're running the amplifier. Also running the amplifier about 400 watts, a 922 by kilowatt. The transceiver, by the way, Vic, is a FTDX 5000 Mike Papa. And the antenna, it's just a folded dipole, i.e. a cobweb. Very limited space here in the city sort of vicinity. And the microphone is a Heil PR40, and it does what it does, and at least I can be heard by the odd station, and that's the main thing. But I'm not going to hold you up like I know you call the phone, so I'll leave it with you. Nice to get you into a log for the first time, and hopefully it's not the last. But in the meantime, I wish you well. 7-3, of course, to yourself and the family. Take care, stay safe, stay happy and healthy, and hopefully we'll run across each other somewhere further down the log. In the meantime, all the very best from Northern Ireland. Excuse me. Lima Zulu 7, Charlie Whiskey. It's been a pleasure, Vic. GI0, Zulu Alpha Kilo on your final over.
GI0 ZAK LZ7CW. Yeah, likewise, Fred. Nice to hear you for the first time. That beautiful Guinness is sitting there behind that bar, and I haven't had one for at least 3 years. Every time I work anybody in Ireland, Northern Ireland, it all comes back to me, those memories of that beautiful black stuff, you know. I could down a few. I probably wouldn't be too good tomorrow, but so what? But you can't get it here. I think there's Murphy's in Sofia. If you really want to go to Sofia, it was one of the worst confirmed cases of the virus in Sofia, the capital city. They have a place called Murphy's Bar, and they sell the Murphy's black stuff. We know it's not the same, but it still would help me. But it's a long way, 300 kilometers, just for a few pints. I may have to stay the night, but no, I'll keep out of that place. I might never come back. It's still got a lot of confirmed cases, trust me. You stay safe as well, Fred. Look forward to the next time. Give me a call anytime. GI0ZAK LZ7CW. Good night.
Yeah, good night, Victor. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Yeah, and the hand of friendship's always extended. If we ever is for let me up, and we'll go and have a pint. 7-3, and good luck, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.
5 might go a little bit.
Are you still knocking around, Graham? Over.
Bill from 9
Yeah, definitely. I'm young Victor. You're right. You're going to get up and down now.
Papa Delta 9.
You were 5 and 9 and a little bit when I first heard you, but you dropped down to a 5 on that last one.
The band is so bad, you can even hear them.
I don't think the band is very stable tonight. It seems to be very up and down. But there you go. Oh, I wonder what was going on then. The log, which is connected to the, it's on the computer, but it's connected to the radio, so I only have to put the call down here. seem to be having a funny at the moment. It keeps changing. I was working the hands mode just then.
Yeah, you're down. The propagation to your location, Graham. G1, is it? You'd have to remind me of the call sign again. G1ZAT or something. My memory box not too good. But you was 5 and 9 further up the band when you was working someone. But now you've come down here to see Victor. You know, the propagation to your location is not too good. But I have heard that into G on 20 meters is around. So, you know, people are surprised to hear me coming through. Yeah, hopefully you're safe and well and enjoying that beautiful weather, I think. Maybe you've got some, I'm sure I heard someone mentioned it was 30 the other day in Manchester. Is it, what's it called? G1ZAT? I've forgotten, Graham. This is Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey.
Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey, Golf 1 Juliet Delta Tango, just doesn't sound good. That was called in the early days. That was because I was always mobile and the locals never used to hear me around here, so I was clicking just doesn't transmit. That's what we're doing, isn't it? Yeah, you know, you can think of the black stuff. Speed at the moment, I think we've got to about 19 this afternoon, but it's been low cloud all day, but at least it's any heat that there is, it's keeping it in. But we've been threatened by for 30 degrees at weekend, as we were, let's see, last Friday was very, very warm, and the weekend before, but I'm not a lover of the hot temperatures, Rick. It's, well, I struggle sometimes to catch my breath, so, but there you go. And as for the black stuff, no, I prefer the amber mix and Red 21 is quite a nice one at the moment.
Yeah, Roger, Graham. G1JDT LZ7CW. Yeah, there's not too many people on the band, Graham. I can only see about 6 tracers spread out pretty well. I'm surprised I'm getting towards the UK. Yeah, 5 and 5, most of that over with QSB. Yeah, well, if Guinness wasn't available, there's always a Stella. If it's in a Stella glass, it must be in a Stella glass. Also, I don't want it, thank you very much. But they think you can drink it out of any glass. It's got to have a good widget. The widget is the key for drinking a lager drink. Well, you can't get lager here. You can get a couple of good draft beer. What is it? 2 Lev. So it's £1. It's £1 for half a litre. Half a litre in a glass. It's £1. That's a good drink, isn't it? Good price. Yeah, the exchange rate at the moment is way down, Graham. It's just a fraction over 2 Lev. 2 Lev to the pound. Wow. It used to be 2.30, 2.25. Now it's just 2 Lev. I bet it's not going to get any better before Christmas. Hopefully you're safe and well. Yeah, into G. You may get many contacts on into G. CQG. Yeah, well, we've just passed the weekend, and now you're looking forward to another weekend. It's only Tuesday. Well, we've had 30, and 30, you know, for the last 2 months, really. 37, 39 last week. One day last week it was 37, and then the next day was 39. It was. So if I've got a bit of a project on, I'm up at 6 o'clock tomorrow, Graham, to continue my project without being burnt and feeling uncomfortable. So 6 o'clock I'm straight outside, and no drink, no breakfast. I can have that when I go back in about 9 or 10 o'clock when the sun starts to come round. G1JDT LZ7CW.
I've not had it down for must be about 4 years or so. I put the two calls out this particular morning and thought, hang on, what's going on? Yes, nobody's answering me, so I went outside and I let the antenna down, and the ladder line, one side of the ladder line was broken where it goes into the plant, just under the centrepiece. So it was a case of now instead of, I don't know what the measurement is, I think it's something like 15 feet or so. It's supposed to be, but it's 4 inches west now. The ladder line on my outside G5. Now, as I say, I do drink lager, but I don't drink the draft stuff. I like Budweiser, and I'm quite partial to the proper Budweiser. Where is it, Hungarian or wherever it comes from. I like that, but I'm partial to the single malt, and the favourite at the moment is. It's trouble is you've got to measure it out with an eyedropper. It's like liquid gold. It's what is it? I think it's made by the people that make the Jamesons, but it's their high-end single malt. It's 21 years old, and that's like liquid gold. That Vic over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, you've come up now. The audio's really loud and clear now, Graham. G1JDT LZ7CW. Yeah, we'll have to stop talking about drink. It brings back all those memories, falling down water, I may have told you before, I don't know, but way back, maybe 2016, I was deciding whether to come to Bulgaria to live permanently or not. And at the time, Graham, I was drinking the most fabulous Guinness. I was down at this pub in the centre of town where I lived, in the city. It was out of this world. No one else in the whole of the city poured Guinness like this. It was just fabulous. And I only went out there once a week, but I had a good fill of it. Trust me, I did. And I know I put a lot of weight. It put a lot of weight on me. But I was going down the gym as well. I've lost all that weight. I feel fitter. But I came over to see this house, I came over for a week to see this villa, and when I went back, Graham, they'd altered the pump, the T-piece where they poured the drink over the counter, and the Guinness was on the opposite side now, the Guinness I drank. So I had a pint. Oh dear, Graham, it was completely different. They must have extended the pipe or put a new bit of pipe in, and it altered the drink. It was gone. The most fabulous Guinness, yeah, it was, trust me, because it was nearly going to stop me from coming over to Bulgaria. I thought, you know, I mean, I just loved it. It was a drug, only once a week, but I thought I'm going to lose that if I come over here. But it changed, and I knew I've got to go now. I'm going now. Dear. I even tried another pump down the bar. It was a big bar, trust me. It was a Wetherspoons, and it was no good down there. And then they started to clean it on the night I was there. They did. I went in and it was shut down. I said, what's happened to my pump? They says, we're cleaning the pipes out. I said, you never cleaned them out on a Monday night when there's customers. You know, cleaning them out in your own time. Oh dear, Graham. Yeah. G1JDT, LZ7CW.
LZ7CW, G1JDT. Well, that happened to the wife that used to go. She used to go to a local hostelry on a Thursday. No, they used to do Wednesdays. That was it. And my friend's wife, frankly, the guy with the M3 license, and they used to, you know, they could have a quiet natter without being overheard by us. Probably used to call us rotten bit, but yeah, she said, you know, it was only 10 o'clock at night. She said, and they start cleaning them. You know, they're shouting, well, if you want another drink, have it now, because we're, you know, we're putting the chemicals in the lines to clean them. But I remember when my in-laws were still alive, we used to meet up on a Sunday. We used to go to, I used to meet the father-in-law in the local British Legion, and we used to have a couple of drinks in there, and then we used to go back home, and we used to have a late Sunday lunch that Elsie had made. And this particular time, I dropped Lynn off at a mum's house and said, you know, is Leo in the Legion? She said, oh yeah, he's in the Legion. So I walked in, and I was just about to order the usual pint of lager, and because the Guinness in there, it was the dearest drink in there. All right, it was subsidised, but that was the dearest drink. And he said, no, we're on Guinness today. So I said, oh well, it's the end of the year and they're not allowed to make a profit, so anything after they've covered all the expenses, etc., goes behind the bar for the members to drink. So that was it. So a couple of hours later, the wife and the mother came to come round and drag us out of there. Leo wasn't used to drinking large quantities of Guinness over.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I've been in my local Wetherspoons. It wasn't the one in town, in the city. It was in the town, and I was drinking. What was I drinking? It was a bitter. It was a bit Ruddles. It was the Wetherspoons Ruddles. You know, it can either be good or it can be bad. But at the time, when they first started to sell it, they only had one keg in the back. So when that finished, they had to wait another 24 hours for the other one to settle if they rolled it to the connection, you know. But then they started to do the tandem. They had one ready and one connected, you know. So they just had to the pipes over. But it was so good, unbelievable. It was that was good. I could have stayed in that bar all night. I could. But you know, it's really annoying, isn't it, when you mentioned about, you know, they say we're cleaning the pumps, the pipes out. Yeah, Wetherspoons in this particular bar in town, but you know, I mean, they just can't wait to get. When the pub closes, usually the staff are there for another 45 minutes doing a few jobs and stuff like that, you know. But they want to get away as early as possible. When you've gone, they want to be gone, you know. Well, that's not how it is, unfortunately. I don't think that's in the job description. You should be maybe cleaning this and cleaning that. They should make it all ready for the next people the next morning. Well, I was told they clean the pipes, you know, when the bar shuts, they put the pipes on clean, and why they're doing this and that, and then in the morning, the next staff, the morning staff, they take over. There's not too many people wanting to drink Guinness first thing in the morning at 7 o'clock, and then it's ready again, you know. But I've been in there in my local one, Wetherspoons. I've walked in there and it's been, you know, you've had about 3 pints of Guinness, and you're going to have another couple if you've been in there most of the night. You get to about 10 to 12. It used to be open till 12 o'clock. It did. It still is, possibly. They'd say, oh, it's gone. I say, what do you mean it's gone? Well, the keg's gone. Yeah, well, go and change it then. You know, I mean, I've timed them in other parts of Wetherspoons. It takes 15 seconds to change the keg over, and they was too idle. You know, that's how some of the staff are. Too idle to go in the back for 15 seconds. You've been drinking it all night, and then, you know, you just want another couple or even just one. You're not going to change your drink, are you? You're not going to say, well, I'll have a lager now, or I'll have this and I'll have that. You're on Guinness, and you're going to stay on Guinness. But it's annoying when they say, oh, it's gone. What do you mean it's gone? Well, go and change the barrel then. Oh, it's too late to change it. No, it's not. It takes 15 seconds. Oh, they're bone idle. I wouldn't pay some of them out in washers, Graham. G1JDT LZ7CW.
LZ7CW, G1JDT with one eyeball on the sign, Vic. Sorry about that, but yeah. Well, I used to go. We used to go hiking over the moors, Glossop, and that way. Well, you could walk over the top to Marple, and you could have a drink in Marple, and then walk down into the centre of Marple, and get a train back to near where I live, Guy Bridge, and there used to be a water mill, and well, it's called a little mill, but when we first started going in there, all the kegs were on stages in the back, and she used to go down 2 steps into the cellar. The cellar was just down 2 steps, and then she'd sell this enormous jug, and then she'd come back along the bar. You know, anybody that wanted topping up, she used to come along the bar, topping all the pints of it, and that was beautiful. It was it had a lovely nutty taste to it. You know, it was proper real ale that was, but now it's well, not been there for a few years now, but I know it's gone sort of commercial, and you know, everything's on you know, CO2 kegs and you know, pipes through to the bar that way, and I don't know what I don't know which brewery it was, but I can tell you it was beautiful, but I don't think they serve it, I don't think they serve it now, Vic, over.
Yeah, 15 seconds to go, Graham. Yeah, I know. I've been there. I was a draftsman. Is it draftsman? Drayman. I was a drayman for a short time. I could tell you a few stories, but another time, I'm getting thirsty talking about beer. You take care. Stay safe, Graham. Give us a call. Well, it'll be, well, yeah, when you hear me on again. 7-3 for now, JDT, G1 JDT, LZ7CW. Good night.
LZ7CW, G1 JDT, having to cut and run, but yeah, I could tell you a few stories. Next time I'll tell you about this pub in the middle of nowhere in on the outskirts of Newcastle, Vic. That was an experience. Send me through, my friend. Don't overdo it today, mate. And we'll catch you soon. From G1 JDT. Send me through, Vic. Take care.
Yeah, you're peaking 5 and 9 most of the time, Graham. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.
Who's the ending in India, please?
Yeah, put 5 Mike Bravo India.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 stations called Mike Bravo India. Is that Mike 0? Over.
No, it's Fox 5 Mike Bravo India. Fox 5 Mike Bravo India. The name's John. And I was just listening to this. I've been listening for some time, and I couldn't put my finger on where the accent's from. So I wonder if you could tell me that, please, Oliver.
Oh, you'll have to introduce yourself more than that before I start telling all this personal information. Come on, John. Oh dear, get a life. Listening to my dulcet tones. You're 5 and 5 at the moment. And yet you got the name right, and I'm located. Yeah, I had a good English teacher in Bulgaria, trust me. And I don't sound like Nigel, what's his name? No, Brian Clough. I think someone mentioned that some time ago. No chance. Yeah, so I'm in southeast Bulgaria, in the Yambul province, John. Would appreciate your report, and I might just tell you, Fox 5, Mike Bravo India, Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey.
Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey, Fox 5 Mike Bravo India. Yeah, great. Well, I'm in France, I'm near Limoges. Radio's a bit feeble compared with everybody else I've been listening to. Just a Kenwood 570 and an end-fed wire doing about 100 watts. I think you're doing about a kilowatt, I think it is. In France, 12 years plus now. And you sound like you come from where I used to come from, Vic, and that's what made me think, blimey, is that accent similar to mine? I'm not sure. But kind of in Derby sort of way, that's where I originally came from. Well, I originally came from Eastwood. C.H. Lawrence country. That sort of an area, Vic. So I thought I'd just be cheeky and ask if you don't mind me asking, Vic, ever.
Yeah, and you still never give me a report.
3-0 POQ standing by. You've been 5 and 9 plus 20.
Yeah, Roger, Dave.
9 plus 10. Going down a few times with QSP, but mainly over the 9 sounding absolutely beautiful, Vic. I've sent the flowers. You're from now, Robert.
Well, I tell you, John, I used to live on Church Street with the sun at top of the hill in Eastwood. Yeah. when it was £1 on the bus to go to Nottingham, the city of Nottingham. Yeah. I even delivered to Eastwood when I was driving a truck to the co-op by the back, where the post office on the corner. That's Eastwood, isn't it? Yeah. Down that tight street, very tight. Trust me, when you've got a little Arctic. Yeah, so the city of Nottingham, the Robin Hood city of Nottingham, over.
Now that is very strange, Rick, because if you used to live on Church Street, I used to live on South Street at the bottom there. Just before you got to Skinner Rook and Chambers as was, which might bring your drinking in. Yeah, you used to live on South Street, Rick, that's really strange. I'm listening to an English guy in Bulgaria. You're talking to an English guy in France, and we used to live maybe, blimey, 500, 1,000 yards from each other, are we?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I was renting a small cottage. Now, if you go down Church Street from the Sun, you get halfway down. Yeah, it's not that long, is it? The straight part. On the right-hand side, there used to be 2 cottages set well back behind the trees. Yeah, there was 2. It's all cleared now, I think, and they look smart. They're really upmarket now, but it was just 2 small cottages. There was, I remember clearing out the coal shed. It was full of crap because I had a motorbike and I wanted to put it in there. I've got some nice pictures of. Yeah, and it was no driveway. It was all just grassed and grassed area walking in, and if you drove past it, you wouldn't even notice it. And if you went to the bottom, of course, you could. Well, I did, because there was just to the left there was a factory or some industrial place, and they actually had their own driveway going out onto the dual carriageway. Well, with a motorbike you can go through the barriers and then slip down straight onto onto the dual carriageway. What was it called? It's not the A60, is it? No, it's not. I've forgotten. You just can't. Yeah. And then straight up there to the junction, what was it? Junction 20, 26, 25. I'm forgetting all these things, John. Fox 5, Mike Bravo India, Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey.
Yeah, Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey, Fox 5, sorry. I've had a drink, mate. Fox 5, Mike Bravo India. You may be talking about the A610, and you may be talking about Burnham's. I'm not sure if that was the one, or you were talking about the factories on Church Street themselves. Just a quick one, how long ago was it you're talking about that you was years ago, or was it a few years ago?
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Well, when the Sun was time, please, at 10:30. 10:30 time, gentlemen, please, and it was 10:30. I remember walking in there, and there was people being served at the bar, and still people coming up to the bar, and it was dead on 10:30, and he wouldn't serve me, John, over.
Yeah, well, I can't see what you look like, but there you go. That's how you. That's something for the future. Yeah, well, I was born there. Born in Eastwood in 1966. So a few years ago, and moved out 6 years ago. So I know that area very well. That's very strange. And all the time I'm thinking, I can't hear the other stations you're talking to. I could hear Fred in Belfast, ZAK. I spoke to Fred earlier today. I could hear him just about. I thought he's going to fade away, is Vic, before I can ask him where he's from. And then I got a phone call from my missus. Then I got a phone call from another guy. I'm never going to get to speak to him and ask him where he's from. But that's made my evening, that. It made my evening. Easily pleased, Vic, on it.
Yeah, Roger. Well, that date you just gave me. Oh dear. You certainly are a young man. I'm 22 years older than that, over.
You've probably got a face for radio. You don't sound that old, actually, Vic, if I'm honest.
And yeah, I had a quick squeeze at you on QRZ, and I had a look at the antenna you were putting up, and nice to see you still doing feet and inches. I'm not sure whether they would give you meters, but nice to see you still doing feet and inches. I heard you explain you were 31 foot high the antenna was. But no, that's all good. We're not a friend of mine from Ireland just rang me, and I've deleted his call, sent him on his way so I could call him Rick, so I better ring him back. But lovely talking to you. Sunning is still going well, that's all good. The wine vaults is still going well. That's the one at the top there before you get into the sunning. Nelson's changed hands, and it's something, I can't remember what it is now, last time I went over, but yeah, happy days. Yeah, I spent most of my time though, I must admit, in Langley Mill as a young man, because I worked at Langley Mill on Cronford Road. I worked for Regal Portable Buildings, a smaller version of Vic Allen's, as was at the time, making sheds and portable buildings and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that, so I drank with the lads in Langley Mill. But we could talk about drinking forever, but I'm just looking at my 2 bottles and they're both empty. So I'm going to go back to the fridge and replenish. And lovely talking to you, Rick. I will listen out so we can catch hold of you again. It sounds like you might be about most evenings, so I'll catch up with you. So Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey from Fox 5 Mike Bravo India. Lovely talking to you, Rick, over.
Yeah, Fox 5 Mike Bravo India, Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey. Yeah, in 1972, I worked it out, 1982 I was there. I remember. and that pub just facing the library, I forget what it was called. You may have just mentioned it when it was 10:30, because of course it was 10:30 drinking up time. We always get on to the drinking. Oh dear, I'm getting so thirsty and I've got nothing in it. And my next QSO is also likes his beer. He's sitting on the side. But do you know what? When they call time at 10:30, I bet you've sat in there. It's only a little small pub on its own, facing. I'm sure it's just facing the library. Just a bit further on from the post office on the corner. Yeah, at 10:30 they opened the back door, which was right, it at the back of the bar. Just one door, and it was straight outside. It must have been. And in winter it was absolutely freezing. It was lovely till 10:30. Then they opened the back door, and the bar was empty in 30 seconds. It was. They didn't have to say, drink up, come on, drink up, it's time. It was empty, mega quick. Yeah, give us a call again when you've got a bit more time, John. I'm sure we could swap a few stories. I could talk for another hour, trust me on that. Take care, stay safe. Fox 5 at Mike Bravo India, Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey. Good night.
Yeah, I've got to reply to that one, Vic. You're talking about the Wellington. It's commonly known as the Wally. It's exactly the same. Front door in, he opens the back door, everybody's out. So please take it easy and stay safe.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Oh, it's got you mad.
Yeah, POQ, I think it is. Over.
Yeah, very good evening to you there, Vic. Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey G0 POQ. Very nice to hear your voice on the radio. And I did appreciate the email, and I certainly wanted to get back to you there, Vic. So hope you're well, and I'll give you a signal report, Vic. You're around the 5'9", but sometimes you come up at 5'9 plus 20 with me. So a little bit of fluctuation, but no problem in copying you. Anyways, I'll pop it back over to you. Lima Zulu 7 Charlie Whiskey G0 POQ.
G0 POQ, LZ at 7CW. Yeah, you're just making the 10, 5 and 9 plus 10. it was just 5 and 9, and then as you carried on talking with no gaps, it just crept up to the 10 when you passed it back. But it sounds good. Yeah, I just, you know, of course, you know, when you speak to these people, you don't have to be every day or every week, you know, but people give you a call now and again, and then you think, especially when you've disclosed your email address and you've sent them emails, and of course the electricity is a big bonus. That encouragement and yeah, all those things. I just thought, well, what's happened? You know, you just never know, do you? I mean, if you talk to somebody regularly and then they're not around it anymore. The way things are nowadays, you're going to think the worst, aren't you? And well, it's nice to hear your dulcet tones again. Camping. Oh dear, Dave. Oh dear. Is that what you told the missus? You was going camping over?
Yeah, that's right, Vic. And well, as I say, the pubs had opened as well, and well, that made a big difference, Vic. But well, I've got to tell you this one. Since the pubs closed, me and my missus, we got into homebrew, and my kitchen now, it's more like a local brewery. We've already got 30. We've done 30 bottles of well, it's like a pale ale, I would say. And now we've just got fermenting at the moment. We've got some cider dark fruits, another 23 litres. I've got into the wine and all. We've got a bottle of, well, I've already bottled that. That's Chardonnay, white wine. And now I've got bubbling away in the kitchen some Merlot, some red wine. So we're not doing too bad, Vic. It made me smile when you mentioned to the other station I like the beer. And well, on Sunday, obviously the pubs are opened again. So me and my missus were down in the pub, and it was a pleasure to be sat down in there, Vic. Go ahead.
Yeah. What social distance as well? How do they get social distance at the bar? Is the marks on the bar that you? Okay. I remember you telling me about the home brew kit, but you said you bought it for your wife, and I thought, well, who's going to be drinking it? That I'm sure that's what you said. I bought it for the wife. I bought maybe for a Christmas box or a birthday. I bought a brewing kit, something. Sure, it was you. No, yeah, it was something like that. I thought, well, who's going to be drinking the beer then? Oh, guess who's going to be drinking it? Are you going to be drinking all that? I mean, I could probably jump up and down on these grapes when they're ready, outside. But the thing is, I don't want big jars and that in the fridge, and looking at all that stuff is a temptation. If I've got beer in the fridge, if I buy a 2-litre bottle, which I did actually last week, I think it was just 2 litres. Yeah, and you won't believe how much 2 litres is here. It's a plastic bottle. What is it? About £1.25 for 2 litres. Is it worth brewing your own? But it's in the fridge. Well, it's there and it's cold, and you're thinking, I'm not going to start it till tomorrow. But if it's in the fridge, and you go to the fridge to make a drink of tea, and it's looking at you, and you just want, I'll just have one glass, and then it's gone. And tomorrow it's too late. It's gone too early. You plan these things. I'd love to be in town sitting at my favourite bar. I passed it today, and they had this Kammermitzer. It's called Kammermitzer draft beer. Wow, it's 2 lev, and that's £1. now, because it's only 2.3 leather, Bulgarian leather to the pound now, so it's really £1 is 2 leather, you know. And it was 2 leather, half a litre, big jugger, you know, big glass. With the line, it's got a line, but there's one girl there, she just tops it right up to the brim, and you have to sip it well before you leave the bar, or you're going to spill it. Who's going to drink all that in your house? And now you're down the pub, Dave. Where are you going to drink it? Are you going to be selling it in the front garden to whoever's passing by? G0POQ LZ7CW.
Yeah, LZ7CW G0POQ. Well, believe it or not, Rick, they're talking about. Well, you'll have probably seen it on the news, anyways. They're talking about the school children going back to school in September. But if this virus situation starts to get any worse, so that they can get the children back to school, they're going to close the pubs again and the bars. So it's on a knife edge, really, Vic. But you know, we only go out maybe at the weekend, and so in the week it's handy to have a beer. And you're quite right. I did buy the initial brewing kit for my wife, and we've expanded since then. But believe me, Vic, it's quite true. The homebrew business in UK at the moment is booming. There's lots and lots of companies what supply the equipment are out of stock because the demand has been tremendous. I mean, we've got a local shop here on the main road of Hull, and they've got a shelf for homebrew kits, and they no sooner get and they stocked, it's gone again. The shelves are empty, Vic, so it just proves that it's an absolute growing hobby, and you know, people seem to be enjoying doing it, Vic, Glenn.
Yeah, but it's you know, it's just I don't like to keep beer in the house because you've just got to you're looking at it all the time when you open the fridge. If there's a few bottles in the fridge, you know, it's a temptation. And just one glass tonight. When you've had one glass, just one more before I go to bed. Just you know. And then it's the next night, and you know, and I don't want to be like that. I haven't had that bottle I purchased last week. You know, it's had me running backwards and forwards to the toilet. They always do. You know, flipping heck. You drink a good glassful, and then you might as well be sitting on the toilet. You know, because it just leaks straight through. Whatever's in it. It does that to you, you know. I don't know whether it's something to make it last in the bottle, you know. Because I've never had that when I was in the UK with Guinness or Stella. Stella never made me run to the toilet. I could have a few pints of Stella, trust me, before in the Wetherspoons, before I'd be running upstairs. The toilet was upstairs. They always are Wetherspoons. They're always out of the way, well away from the bar and the kitchen, which is only right. But you know, there's nothing wrong with my kidneys, but it's these drinks that they have something in mixed in it, and I think there's some caffeine in this. I don't know whether it's caffeine or what, but I really, after the 2 litres, I can't really get to sleep. You know. I feel like I want to just close my eyes and go, but you know, it won't let me drop off. It keeps keeping me awake. Something in that beer. It is good. It's not as good as the Kamamitsu you get for draft in the bar in town, but you got to buy a keg for that. Wow, can you imagine me having a keg here? and the tap and the cooler. Well, my goodness, I'd have people sitting outside. I'd open my own bar up, wouldn't I? That may be a good idea. I know a nice little bar in town. But you might, even if you had a bar, you might be just, oh, I'll have a nip, and then I'll have another nip, you know, because this weather is hot all the time now, all the time. Summer's here to stay right till about September or October. It really is. And you know what? You feel like you see the bar, and you feel like you want that to hit the back of the throat, to quench your, you know. A cup of tea won't do it, will it? Milk's even worse. You think it's going to quench your thirst, but it doesn't, does it? It's got to be alcohol, something good, so you can just knock it back and go, oh yeah, that's fabulous. Am I making you dry, Dave? G0P, because I'm getting dry. G0POQ, LZ7CW.
LZ7CW, G0POQ. Yeah, you have, Rick, actually. Well, you did mention about social distancing, and the pub we went in at on Sunday, yeah, very, very strict rules, Rick. When we first went in, we got to sign a register, put your contact details, phone number and all that business in a book, and then you've got to wipe your hands with some of this alcohol gel, just to for hygiene, obviously. And then you can't stand at the bar and order a pint. You've got to queue. It's like going for a train ticket, Rick. They've got all the bars covered up with perspex screening. And like a little hatch at the front, and you've got a queue, and you've got a social distance whilst you're in the queue, and then it's just one at a time to order a beer, and then the tables are spaced wide apart, and then it got to the point the pub got started to get a little bit busy, and the landlord locked the door, and he wouldn't let no more people in. They actually queue outside, and then if anyone left, say two left or one left, he used to just let one in or let two in. And that's how they're working it over here, Vic. LZ7CW, G0POQ.
G0POQ, LZ7CW. Yeah, well, that's how they're doing it, is it? Yeah. When you says sign the register, okay, so do you rub your hands in the gel before you touch the pen, before you lean on the register? Is there someone standing there close to you, a metre away, and telling you what to do? You know, when I've been in town, and where was it? Somewhere. All right, I had to pick up from the courier people, and of course I don't carry a pen around with me. But you have to sign the digital book on the front of the counter, and the only way to do it is to pick that pencil up, whatever it is, you know, to sign. Now, who's been touching that pencil? Oh dear, you know. But I've got a spray now. I've mixed a disinfectant up now. Mixed it 1-to-1 with water. I've been on the internet and I've seen exactly how to do it. From 95%. 95% doesn't work. Will not kill a virus. You've got to mix it with water and get it down to 70%, and then it will kill viruses. So. You know, you've got to check these things out, and that's why I've got a little spray in my pocket. I was even in the checkout I think it was last Saturday morning. Yeah. Well, I was standing picking the milk up in the supermarket, and I always have a trolley, because a trolley protects you from people who want to look over your shoulder, rub past you. You've got to have the trolley behind you. But this guy walked past and he starts touching my handle on the trolley, you know, and I said, hey, keep your freaking hands off my trolley. No, I didn't say that, but I said, keep your hands off my trolley. And he didn't like it. They just, you know, what's he who does this Englishman think he is, you know? And then when I was at the checkout, I got the handle behind me and pulling the trolley behind me to keep at least the trolley length people behind me at the checkout. And he was holding my trolley. I had to tell him off as well, you know. Oh dear, it's hard work. I've been this morning. It was fine this morning. There was just OAPs in this morning at 9 o'clock. Thank goodness it's only twice a week, Dave. But that's how they're doing it in the UK, is it? And was the drink worth it? You didn't have to queue up, did you? Because you got there, I don't know, earlier. You wasn't going in for the last pint. Fancy standing outside a pub waiting for it to 1 out, 1 in, 2 out, 2 in. Was the drink good? Was it Guinness? G0POQ LZ7CW.
Yeah, LZ7CW. Yeah, it was Guinness and the drink was good, Vic. But, yeah, you were quite correct. We had to wait, but there was a guy there supervising the register and the gel. And, yeah, we had to use the gel before we picked up the pen and so forth. And, yeah, the register, you'll probably followed it on the UK News. It's for track and trace, so if anyone who's visited that pub turns out to be positive with the virus, they contact everyone who's been in the pub at that time he was in or she were in, and then we've got to self-isolate for 14 days. So that's the whole idea of this register, Vic. But we'll see how it goes. I'd just be interested. It's picking up a little bit over here in certain areas. You probably followed it anyways. And they're talking about local lockdown. They've had this one in Leicester, and then I believe it's Oldham and Manchester. So you know, it's littered about a bit. So well, we just have to. We just play safe, Vic, and use our common sense. Hoping we're doing the right thing. But getting back to the weather, and you mentioned how warm it is, well, I reckon we've had a very, very poor summer over here. As I speak to you at the moment, we've got quite a wind blowing at the moment, very strong. The forecasting rain again tomorrow, with blustery winds. And then on Friday, the forecasting about 28 degrees. Saturday it's going to be about 25 degrees with showers, rain showers, and maybe Sunday 23 degrees, and it's going to be dry. So, but the weather has been very, very unstable, Vic, this summer. In May we had quite some nice days, but it deteriorated. As soon as we got into June, we were just getting rain, virtually rain every day, either in the morning or in the evening. We was getting quite heavy rain, Vic, so there we go. And yeah, you're still a good signal. I trust the power's 100%, so you won't want to mess about with the batteries anymore. And well, it's really good to hear you. As I say, I should have emailed you really, shouldn't I? And I'll let you know where I'd gone. I certainly did pop my clogs, I'm still here. And I think the old Guinness keeps the virus away, Vic, go ahead.
Yeah, that's your excuse. 0 BOQ LZ7CW, and you're sticking to it. Yeah, no, I don't watch any UK news at all. I've got no TV here. I don't watch TV. I haven't seen TV since I've been here. I may watch a few films now and again when when conditions aren't. You know, maybe at the weekend. I heard a contest a couple of weeks ago, Saturday night, So I just switched the radio off, you know, and went on my laptop to watch a film from YouTube for the rest of the night, and that was it. But I don't check what's going off in the UK. Nothing whatsoever. Even the weather. No, I'm here, Dave. And of course, the weather. I'm always checking my weather and what's going off here. I look to see what provinces have got new confirmed cases. We're doing okay at the moment. It seems this particular province, Yambol province. I think there's only been one or two confirmed cases. So, and I think one of them was a nurse, but that was some time ago. The last time I looked on the government site, there was nothing in the Yambol, even though it was still coloured. It wasn't a clear, so someone's in there. They give you the count of people in certain villages and cities, but there was nothing in Yambol, city of Yambol at all. So, but it still looks a colour. I mean, I'm looking on Wikipedia, and they give you a map of Bulgaria, and you can see the colours, different colours for different amount of people that's confirmed. I think there is a few people extra now in the capital city of Sofia. I'm not certain whether that was down to Greece opening its doors on July the 1st. They opened its doors to holiday makers. Yeah, they did, to Bulgaria and other countries. Of course, you have to pay for, you have to fill a form in on the plane, and then when you get there, there is a full test to see if you could be confirmed and all that. And it was very expensive, over €100 per person. So if you've got a family of people, that's all your spending money gone. A lot of people had to cancel, and then it was the UK's turn to be welcomed to Greece from the 15th of July. Yeah, but I saw that from the 2nd, 3rd of July, there was already 50 confirmed cases, new confirmed cases, and then I looked again about 2 or 3 days later. Now it's up to 90. So a guy I was talking to, Fox 6 station, a couple of weeks ago, was telling me in the north of France it started all over again, and he's telling me about these people that's not with us anymore. They blame it onto the southern France, they do, not wearing the face mask. Everything's back to normal here. There's no one wearing a face mask. Only in the supermarket. Customers wear a face mask, but you won't see. Well, very rare to see staff wearing a face mask. They wear it when they feel like it. It's difficult, Dave. G0POQ, LZ at 7CW.
Yeah, I was at 7CW, G0POQ. Well, we got to wear a mask here in the shop, and if you don't, you can get up to £100 fine. You've got to wear a mask on all public transport, buses, trains, everything, and well, that's how it is, Rick. So, but yeah, a lot can do about it, and you know, as I said earlier, just got to sit tight and sort of act sensible. But yeah, there's plenty of. I don't watch I'll be honest with you, I don't watch the TV much. I watch the news and the weather forecast, and that's about my lot actually. And like you, if I like going on YouTube. I got Netflix, I must admit, and I watch films on Netflix, sometimes on the computer, and probably nothing interesting on the news, in my opinion. Really, it's just boring every day. So I'm gonna reduce that and all, Vic, because it's you know, it's just become a monotonous situation. You know, we all know it's an important issue, but they keep sort of brainwashing you with it, and you know, it gets a bit overpowering in the end. And camping out in the wilds, and I was just at the well, I just had a battery light on a night, and then it was good night Vienna. But I've done it quite a few times, Vic. I'm an outdoor person, and when we was locked down for 4 months, it was like I was like one of them lions in a cage, sort of going up and down, trying to break out through the bars. So you know, to me, being out in the wild with nature is the way forward, and I could live out there. I'm sure I could, and get myself set up, and I could just live in a tent. And my missus, she used to come, but she said she needs the luxury of a decent bed. But I'm not too fussy. As long as I can get in my decent sleeping bag. I've got one of them like foam mattresses, and I put that down first, and then stick the sleeping bag on that, and that's it for me. I'm quite comfortable, Vic. Anyway, you did mention about the power. Has it been okay? And you've had no more problems, Vic. By the way, we had a thunderstorm last Saturday. A very, very short thunderstorm. A good friend of mine, only about 2 miles from my house. He's got a tower, a box section tower, which attaches to the gable end of the house. He was very, very lucky. His antennas, 2 antennas he had up there, they got hit by lightning, and they melted. They actually melted, and he said when we got hit, there was a tremendous bang, and the house shook, and the windows rattled. But luckily, it never hit the box section. Or if it had done, it could have taken the gable end out of the house there, Vic. Could have been a very, very serious situation. I'll pop it back over to you, LZ7CWG0POQ.
G0POQ, LZ7CW. We haven't had lightning now for about 2 months. It was every night, I should say, every night, and keeping me off the radio sometimes as well. Yeah, the power was perfect. But I was a little worried last week. I nipped into town. It was a shopping day. I hate going in town, trust me, I do. I used to love going in town, but it's just battling your way with a trolley, okay, watching, keeping people away. Oh dear, I want to stay alive. We all do. Oh, you don't know where they've been, who they've been. They might have been to Greece, you know, and they come back. Oh dear. You don't know, do you? They don't have to go in quarantine. If they're Bulgarian, they could fly to Greece, and you don't know. Yeah. So, oh yeah, last week, and I got home and the electric was off, Dave. It was off. I'd got some cooked meat and I shoved it in the fridge quick to keep the fridge from. It's in its own little cubbyhole, really, you know, pantry. It's in the pantry on its own near the front door, my fridge. And yeah. And I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get on the internet, nothing. Of course, I don't get on the radio in the daytime now at all, only at night. And but I went out, did a few. It was hot. Well, last week, yeah, I think it was. It could have been one of the days when it was 37 last week, Dave. One day was 37. It touched 37 right on. It wasn't the day. It wasn't the day when the electric was off, because I could see my console, my weather station console, and it was lit up. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, touched 37 at 3 o'clock, dead on 3 o'clock, and that was it. That was the max. And the next day, I looked at the weather forecast for the next day, and it says tomorrow will be warmer than today. I thought, how can it be warmer? It's already 39, Dave. And I was having a cup of tea right on this particular time again, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's when it touched 39, not 39.1, 39. And then it went down to 38.9, you know, but right on 3 o'clock again. But anyway, this particular day, it could have been a Tuesday when the electric was off, when I got home, and I sat it out, you know. My computer's fully charged, and I can still look at things and that, but not on the internet. And I've got a project on. I've got a new antenna, Dave, and it's up there right now. Part of it is, trust me, it is. Yeah, so I've got a project outside, things to do. But when it got to about 4:45 and the electric was still off, I thought I'd better go outside and have a look in that hole. I haven't made a manhole yet, but it's still covered down. It's still exactly it was. It's still screened. So I went and removed all the covering to stop it, you know, from getting wetter when it does rain. And it looked just the same as I left it. A bit dusty now. The sides are a little bit dry with the weather. And I came inside, and the electric came on. It did. Apparently, I don't know why, the waterman, there's a water pumping station just up the lane. That's where this cable goes there, and I'm coming off that main cable like everyone else is, you know. And he'd nipped down somewhere just under the bridge, under the interstate highway down the bottom of the lane towards town, and there is you can see there's some big ceramics and some cables and, you know, a bit of a tower, electric tower, and there must be a power switch there. I don't know why he switched the power. He must have switched the power off in the morning or something, some maintenance, I don't know. And then he went down at 10 to 5 to switch it back on. I saw him drive down. And yeah, I saw him drive down. No, I didn't see him drive down in the morning because I was already in town. But I saw him drive down, and then he was coming back up to check that his pumping station was working again, you know. So I don't know why they switched it off. There was no one using the electric or no diggers around. But I thought, thank goodness. I thought there's no way they can switch me off without switching themselves off, you know. And they're not going to switch that pumping station off because that supplies water to the water department, and then it supplies it to the town, you know. So there's no way they can isolate me and say we're switching him off. They can't. It's impossible without switching themselves off. But yeah, it's working fine, Dave. Thank you. Thank you. G0POQ, LZ7CW.
LZ7 CW, G0POQ. Yeah, in the last over, Vic, you were peaking 30 over 9 with me. You're coming in stronger now. But yeah, it's good to hear. And well, funny enough, Vic, when we had this storm on Saturday, last Saturday, it never lasted a long time. I mean, there was in a short period of time we had quite a few flashes and bangs, and then obviously the rain started. That was quite heavy. But in that short period of time, the lights in the house here, they went out temporarily a couple of times and came back on again after a couple of seconds. And well, I reckon there'd been a few lightning strikes around the area. And as I say, my friend, he lost two UHF beams there. And Well, I ain't seen him, but I was speaking to him on Sunday, and he told me that they have melted. It just shows the power of lightning. But you know what worries me, Vic, is another friend of mine. He's got a tower or a box suction mast attached also to his gable end of the house, but they're not on the ground. And I've mentioned him to him before. If it were mine attached to the gable end, I'd be drilling it and I'd be pulling an air bonding on the box section and then driving a copper rod into the ground to make sure it was air. I mean, obviously my tower here at home is concreted in the garden, and I know for a fact because I put it in the ground post at the bottom, right at the bottom, what goes into the concrete. It was resting on the soil when I poured the concrete in, and I mean it was quite a big plate, a good plate size. It must have been about 2 foot by 2 foot, welded on the bottom of the ground post. So there's a good contact there into the soil, and I'm a big believer. Like everything's in the shack here. I've got everything aired. The amplifier, the radio, everything's aired. And I've got a separate earth rod. Obviously my shack being in the loft space here, I've got a separate earth rod, but it's driven in the ground at ground level, and then I've got an earth cable coming up the gable end of the house here into the shack. So I've got the ground from the electricity supply, and I've also got a separate ground on Vic. I don't know what your thoughts are on that one, if you agree with me or not. I'd be interested to know. But, I think I just hate it when thunder and lightning starts. I whip all the plugs out up here and, make everything as safe as possible. Because a French guy I speak to, he got hit by lightning. He was away though shopping with his wife. He got hit by lightning, and when he come home, everything in the shack, virtually radio, everything was destroyed. He said it was just a black mess. And he sent me some photographs on an email attachment to show me what it looked like, and it was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. Everything was black and burnt out. And, he claimed on his insurance, his house insurance, and they paid out. And they got all new equipment again, Vic. LZ7CW, G0POQ.
G0POQ, LZ7CW. When I first had this radio, I never thought about an earth for it. But then when I had the amplifier, I did. I was serious about it. So I've got UK wiring. You know the UK wiring? Was it brown and what is it? Brown and blue. That insulated wire. I had a good roll of that. Is it 2.2 mil? 2 mil? Yeah, it's a proper spec for internal wiring for a UK house. Well, I've got that. From the radio to the amplifier, going around this room, on the outskirts of this room, through the front part of the wall, where my internet cable comes through. He drilled a hole, and he wasn't too careful. It was a big hole. I had to patch it up. But I've got an earth out there. I've got an earth rod, not an earth rod you can buy on in the UK. I couldn't see anyone selling earth rods, even though I've seen them. I've seen a few houses walking into town with an earth, when I see the electric meter on the outside. Most of them have electric meters on the outside, and then you see this big earth rod, and in the ground. Well, wherever they buy them from, I wish I knew. But anyway, I found a nice piece of metal, about 3 foot long, and I've driven it. It's just in front of the window outside with this with my earth wire connected to it. I've got there is an attachment on the tenor mast, a nut and bolt thread coming out right at the bottom for connecting an earth wire there. So I've got another rod, and I whacked it into the ground. I drilled it first and then attached the tenor mast. But the tenor mast, yeah, the bottom of the tenor mast is in the ground. It's in the not the soil. There's no soil down there below. We've only got 2 foot of soil. Most people have, and then it's solid stuff, serious stuff. That's why this place, when they built it, it's got no subsidence, no cracks in the walls. Made a good job of it. It's only got dig down 2 feet, and then that's just like concrete for, you know, for laying your bricks and whatever. Yeah, so when I put the post in, or the sleeve in from the tenor mast, I whacked it in at least 6 inches first, just to level it, and then I hand mixed good stuff, concrete. But I found some metal rods around. You can always find these things, you know. And I put it around the base, in the hole, of course, down in it's a cube hole. I dug it out myself, was it two something years ago, and just to give it a bit extra, and I put the concrete around the base, the sleeve, a nice lump of concrete, nice and careful, patted it down, tapped it, and that. And when that set, of course, when I had the concrete poured in, it never moved an inch. It was spot on with the bubble. I've got a 5 foot UK spirit level, fabulous. I've seen workmen when they've come in, they've noticed it. This as well. Look at that. Does a fabulous job. Yeah. So an earth outside, but like you said, everything is unplugged anyway. If I know there's going to be lightning, and when I go on my weather station, there will be an orange line at the top if there's any disruption, and you just have to go to a site and look, see where the lightning is. Weatherbug, I use a Weatherbug. It tells me exactly where the lightning is, usually. But a few weeks ago I checked it, it says something like 160 miles away. I thought, okay, and then I just sat down to have a drink, and I saw a flash over one of the hills. I thought, wait a minute, that was looking a bit close. I've got the radio connected, so I went back on Weatherbug and had a look. There was little bit late, and then it says 2 miles away. I thought, right, radio disconnected. But you know what? Before I had this new rotator, this Yaesu rotator, I was reading the Create rotator manual. You know, there's more information in there. There's better information in the Create. I think it's Create. The R5, R1, whatever it's called. And I never thought about the rotator cable. You know, the control cable. I've never separated that. I've got a is it a Jones plug on it, just here in front of me, male and female, for disconnecting the rotator cable. But I never thought about disconnecting it. I'd disconnect the radio, you know, and a few other things. But I never thought about disconnecting the rotator cable. Yeah, it's connected to the antenna, isn't it? More or less. But I do now, since I read the Create, because they mentioned, you know, to disconnect it from there. Yeah. G0POQ, LZ7CW.
Yeah, LZ7CW, G0POQ. Yeah, fine business there, Vic. Well, I got an airfrod alongside me, which I bought from a rally, and it's sat in the shack here, and it's 4 foot long, and it's got a clamp on the top. But you know, I'd gladly post one over to you if you wanted it, no problem. But you know, you've got to be careful with these airfrods because if I'm going to buy an airfrod, I take a file with me, you know, a metal file, because I do know that there's been some airfrods and they've been copper plated, and it's a steel rod really with copper plates on, and so if I'm going to buy an airfrod, I say to them, you know, is it genuine copper, 100% copper? And if they say, oh yes it is, I'll say, well, do you mind if I use, just get my file and just file it a little bit and see if it is. If they refuse and say, no, you can't do that, I say, okay, then I can tell you if you're trying to sell me a steel rod, and I walk away. But, you know, a friend of mine told me that little trick, and it is right. I mean, when I bought this one, which is alongside of me, the guy, I said, is it copper? And he says, yeah. So I said, you don't mind if I give it a little whiz over with a file in at the bottom there? And he said, no. I said, I'll buy it if it's copper. But he went, no, matey, just try it. And he said, you'll find it's copper. And he went, well, copper. So I bought it. But the ones who have been a bit naughty and the copper plated, straight away, oh, no, you can't put a file on it. If you put a file on it, you've got to buy it. And that's the way you would be frightened if it were genuine copper, because I'm going to buy it anyway. But there you go. There's a little trick. And believe it or not, someone's told me who's in the furniture trade, Vic, if you're going to buy a leather chair or a leather suite, if it's 100% leather, complete leather, I'm not talking like leather coat, like a leather finish at the top and something else underneath. The simple trick with that one, you walk into this furniture store and you say, if that's leather, 100% leather, are you going to let me put some sellotape on it? And if they say no, it's genuine leather. Because if you stick sellotape on it, and it's not genuine leather, just a strip of sellotape, and then you rip it off quick, it takes the top off. So there was another trick I found out, that was the other day. It's a guy who's been in the furniture industry for about 30 years, put me wide with that one. LZ7CW G0POQ.
G0POQ, LZ7CW. Well, if I was looking for the furniture, I went in the furniture shop, I wouldn't even ask them. I'd just mosey over there with my little bit of tape and sit down and make out I'm testing it out, and then on the arm I'd just drop the tape on it and then zip it off, and yeah, I looked around all over the place for these earth rods, and yeah, they're not this minor steel. It's still better than nothing. I couldn't see any rods whatsoever. They've got to be out there. There's a lot of things out there, I can't find them, you know. But I'm sure it's better than nothing, isn't it? Yep. I'm on a new antenna, Dave, over.
LZ7CW G0POQ. Yeah, well, I don't know about an antenna. Do you ever go on that site, Radio Deals at all? Have a look on there. They've always got antennas for sale on there. There's some good stuff. And that friend of mine, he bought X-Beam off there, and it was used, but it was in good condition. The chap who bought it off, he'd only been up about a year, and he was moving house, and he said where they were going there was no way he could accommodate it in two garden. Well, the garden was too small, so that's why he was selling it. But they always got antennas on there. But so what are you using at the moment, Vic? Because I looked on your QRZ page and I see your antenna, and what are you trying to do? Are you taking it down, or are you increasing your antenna farm, or what are you doing, Vic? LZ7CWG0POQ.
G0POQ, LZ7CW. Yeah, well, you see 3 elements at the moment on QRZ. Well, there's one more element to go on. It will be a 4 LE mono bander for 20, a 31-foot boom, Dave, over.
Oh, right. So it's going to be quite a monster, really, isn't it? So, you know, the multi, you had well, it's quite a few months ago, you had a multi-element antenna up. That's the one I saw. I haven't been on your QRZ page since then, actually. And so, have you still got that, Vic, or have you sold it? LZ7CWG0POQ.
Yeah. We don't discuss that antenna anymore, Dave, over.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember the guy, I remember him. I remember you telling me the story there. So, that one's out the window. But this, this one you're getting up to now, good God, it'll really do the job. There's, I don't know if you heard him or spoke to him. There's a German station, and he's using a monobander. Massive boom on it, and I tell you, well, when he's on, it really is putting out a good signal. And I mean, I've spoken to him, and a few times. I can't remember his call sign now. It's a Delta Lima, and he knocked his amplifier off because he was running about 400 watts at the time I spoke to him. And he knocked his amplifier off, and to be quite honest, Vic, after he turned the amplifier off, his signal never went down an awful lot. And I said to him, you know, the amp's only making a very, very small amount of difference to your signal, because your signal's excellent, just running 100 watts. LZ7CWG0POQ.
Yeah, G0POQ, LZ7CW. Yeah, well, I can do that. Give it a try. I don't know what my report is. You're always over the 9. Yep, I'm on about 50 watts now, Dave. 50 watts, over.
Yeah, you're 5 and 9 plus 10 dB with me, Vic, Greg.
Yeah, Roger. I'm back on 1 kilowatt now, Dave. Over.
Yeah, you're 5 and 9 plus about 25 dB, so it's made the difference, obviously, but it just shows you, Vic. I mean, if the conditions are running, you can get away with it. I'm just in the process of building one of these Whisper beacons, and I've got the kit in front of me. So many bits are out from Charlie yesterday, actually. So I've got the complete kit now, and it only runs on milliwatts. A friend of mine's running one, and he's getting hits. These 500 milliwatts, believe it or not, he's getting hits from Argentina and beyond. So it's amazing where a very, very small output can get to when the conditions are good. And it's interesting, because using the Whisper setup with the beacons around the world, you can map out where the propagation is. So, you know, I'm quite excited, Vic, in getting mine up and running. I have started building it, and hopefully I'll have it done in a couple of days and give it a go. But believe it or not, Vic, it only runs, to power it up, it only runs on 5 volts max. So a friend of mine who's knocked me a little power supply up, 12 volts input and 5 volts output. He dropped it off to my house this afternoon, so I'm all ready to, when it's built, to power it up and see what happens. LZ7CW G0POQ.
G0POQ LZ7CW. Is that digital? Is it a digital mode, Dave? Over.
Yeah, it is. It's digital mode, Vic. But just the only